Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back again with another live show on the channel. It is the match review of the player ratings from yesterday's 2-1 win away to Nottingham Forest yesterday, the last game before the international break, and we got the 3 points which we really needed to get, and that is exactly what we got, definitely. Our record signing scores again, 2 goals from him yesterday as well. Another brilliant performance for him as well. Just absolutely brilliant. As well. Tony's going to be joining me in a few minutes. He's just getting himself ready, so he'll be here in a few minutes joining me as well. So, but again, guys, if you do enjoy today's match review and the player rating show, please, of course, remember to hit the thumbs up. Please, of course, remember to hit that subscribe button. Of course, if you're new to the channel or you're not yet subscribed and you really enjoy the content going on this channel, hit that subscribe button. It is completely free and it helps this channel grow. It's not just me that makes this channel grow by doing the content, but it's you guys as well by hitting the subscribe button, hit the likes, really, if you are enjoying the content as well. So there you are. And of course, hit that notification bell as well, and you'll be known of any live shows or any other pre-recorded videos that go on to this channel as well. Hit that bell, will notify you whether it's a live show or a pre-recorded video, whatever it is. So if you would like to donate, we have Super Chat available, so hit that $sign to donate if you would like to give something to the channel. And if you would like to become a member for just 99p a month, just hit the join button to become a member of the channel for just 99p a month. So there you are. We'll dive into a few comments because I've started to really come in. Truls is in the chat. Hope you well, Truls. Leslie's in the chat. Hope you well, Leslie. So well, Truls, Tony will be here in a moment. I thought ASM was bad last night. I give him a 2. I thought he was poor for me yesterday. I have to agree with that. He wasn't up to it. When Anderson came on, wow, he was excellent yesterday, I thought. Absolutely excellent. So, Truls Heart's not saying, but had to leave a like for Pete. So, cheers, Leslie. Have a great day, Les. Oh, not staying, but that's no problem, Leslie, if you can't stay. For Isak, 2 goals, I give him a 10. Well, when we get on to him as well, because he is no doubt going to get a very high rating as well, because he was absolutely brilliant yesterday. So, there you are. I'm not going to start picking on ASM. He played bad enough said. Yeah, he did. He wasn't the greatest yesterday, I've got to admit. So, Jules is in the chat. Hope you well, Jules. As well. So, but yeah, in terms of the game, I thought we pretty much controlled that game from start to the finish. I thought we really, really did. Willock had a great chance, which he blazed over the bar. For me, he should be scoring from there. He really, really should be, I've got to admit. So, yeah. Colin's in the chat. Up you well, Colin. Keep up the good work, Pierre. Cheers so much, Colin. As well. So, yeah, but had a great chance there, Willock, to put us in the lead, which he did blaze, unfortunately. But then we give away the silly goal. I don't know what Botman's doing there, I've got to admit. So very careless that was from Sven Botman there, and he just passed it straight right to in front of Emmaunel Dennis. All he has to do is just hit that in the roof of the net to put Forest 1-0 up into the game. All the hard work we did there, and then we conceded the goal, which was right kick in the nuts for that. So, but we look for ways to get back into it as always. Longstaff hit the bar as well. He was deflection, but it hit the bar that one. So again, Newcastle having chances still to try and get themselves back in the game as well. So David thinks, I don't think Elliott Anderson was offside. We're going to be discussing about that because me and John were absolutely raging yesterday with that. We could not believe it. We absolutely could not believe it all. So there you are. But great equaliser from Alexander Isak. It's a good ball across by Willock. And Isak comes off his shin of all places. Said in the interview he meant that. And what a cracking finish that was. Take a little hit off the post, but it still went in the back of the net. And Newcastle are level in the game, which we really, really deserved. I know we fell behind, but the way we were controlling that game as well. So it was just about time before the equaliser was going to come, wasn't it? So, so yeah. To be honest, we would, so not going to pick anyone in the team. That's the main thing. We got the 3 points. That's all we're really bothered about to keep us in place for a European spot come the end of the season. So I'm still confused how the goal was disallowed. Again, yes, we'll be talking about that as well. So, yeah, because I'm still raging from that, I've got to admit. So, yeah, if that goal was given, we would have won 3-1. Absolutely, we would have. As well, we certainly would have. Definitely. Of course, the start lineup, of course, Eddie Howe kept it the same, and it worked very well again. Of course, remember Miggy being reverted to the bench against Wolves, but he was missing the game through injury and could be facing possibly a few weeks out from what we've been hearing. So, which is a bit of a blow to us, but it's Murphy's opportunity in a way to see what he can do. And I thought Murphy was superb for me again yesterday. Superb. Get those crosses in when he needed to, doing what he had to do in terms of what a winger should be doing. And I had no problems with that from Murphy once again. I thought it was excellent from Jacob Murphy again. So I'm absolutely delighted with that for Murphy. So it's his opportunity now to see what he can do if Miggy's going to be facing some time out with an injury. So, yeah, you will. Fuck VR, says Lewis. Well, yeah, it's the people who are running it, which is the problem, why it's so inconsistent. Seems they said it wasn't a touch he meant to do, Lewis. In the other words, utter bullshit, in my opinion. Yeah, absolutely. Well put. Probably 3 weeks for Miggy below. There was another saying that it could be 6. But we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. So the international break, you can see it's come at the wrong time because after the results, after the 2 wins we've last picked up, but it's England. But in a way, if it helps to get some players back, possibly Miggy, possibly Gordon, then that's all right. Hopefully, Wilson could do a bit of exercise to make sure he feels to make sure he gets back to fitness for when we take on Man United after the international break as well. So there you are, who didn't even come off the bench yesterday for me. I mean, there was talks he'd be really suffering with an illness again. Is it that same illness? Possibly it could be. But, yeah, and barely trained for over a week, so there you are. I think Gordon will shine next season. He could well do. At least the players who are not going on the international duties going to Dubai, yeah, absolutely. They certainly are, so definitely gives opportunities to work on their fitness even more. So definitely the likes of Murphy will be one of them. ASM, definitely. Just whoever's not probably Fabian Chevy has been called up for the Swiss squad as well. So it's definitely a few. Byrne will be another one. So there will be kind of few players because yeah. And the benefit is they can fly from Newcastle with Emirates. Yeah, absolutely. They can't they? Anderson, yeah, absolutely. We'll need to talk about him because he was brilliant yesterday. And I think that left wing suits him very well. I think that's where we should be looking to play Anderson pretty much so as well. And maybe centre midfield doesn't do great, but I thought out on the left, it was very, very good. Fantastic from him. So you will. Hopefully Tony will be here very, very soon. Gary Neville's comments were quite funny last night. They were, weren't they? I heard they really were. So he was fucking class, says Lewis. Yeah, he was. I thought Elliott Anderson was really, really good for me yesterday. So we're definitely going to talk about the downside of yesterday's game, and that was, of course, the referee Paul Tini, and of course Peter Banks, who was on the VAR as well, because my God, they were absolutely abysmal yesterday. Absolutely abysmal. I want Anderson on the left wing, but guess how? Throws Big Joe up there against Man United. I think Big Joe will be straight back in there for me, whether he plays in centre midfield or out on the left-hand side as well. So, yeah. But that's a good thing. Joe Linton's back after his suspension, so which is great. I just hope we can get the players back from injury as well. So Bloody hell, Stevie Wonder was at VAR. Yeah. So, yeah. But yeah, let us know what you thought of the game yesterday. Great 3 points. We've got to talk about Isak because he's only going to get better and better for me now at this football club. He's going to get even better playing for this club. He really, really is Alexander Isak. That's why we paid the money. Why he wasn't starting previous games, I don't know. Now it just proves a point why he deserves to be in that starting 11 easily. Rolly, I'm going to hope you well. IP, great win yesterday. I still understand why Anderson's goal was disallowed. It looks like we've got our mojo back. Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully you have, Rolly. But yeah, again, we'll be talking about Anderson's disallowed goal because I don't get it with VAR this season at all. I really, really don't. Who trained these people to run it? I would like to train these referees to use it. I don't know. It was just, yeah. Truth is, hey, Rolly. As well. So, but yeah. There you go. Go back to Isak's goal. Great finish. Great finish because we deserve that as well. So, VAR didn't even check for the handball pen for us. It was handball all day long. I think the Forest player knew what he did. He lifted his hands up. He put his head in his hands as to say, oh, God, what the hell have I done? And, yeah, it was a definite penalty, and I'm glad that made up for it after being robbed of Anderson getting his goal. That was the thing. So, yeah. But it was a definite penalty. You put your hands up like that, you're running the risk of giving that away, and that is exactly what happened to their players. So, but I think we got to talk about some of the players who were outstanding. Again, yesterday, as I mentioned, Murphy was. I thought Willock was very, very good. Again, definitely, we've talked about Anderson, who was great, definitely as well. So there was shit pulls in the Forest box, but referee turned a blind eye, in my opinion. If we didn't get the pen, all the fans will be absolutely fuming, absolutely. I see the Newcastle women win on Tuesday 1-0. The City did against Durham, Sestria, so that's great for them as well. So there you are. Well, here he is, Tony.
Hiya, Pete, you all right?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, so I had to wait till I come on. I was in the middle of having to wait for a cake to come out the oven, so I had to. I couldn't
nice.
leave it.
So nice.
I'm just making the cake, so yeah.
Nice one.
Victoria sandwich.
Oh, anyone up for a round of Tony's for tea and cake?
Yeah, I got my chicken korma on as well, so that's in the slow cooker. Lovely.
Nice one. But yeah, Tony, another win we needed yesterday, and that's exactly what we got yesterday. Despite falling behind, I thought we dominated that from start to finish.
Absolutely. We were dominant for the first 26 minutes. Then a sloppy pass from Botman. I think if Botman looks to his left and he sees Dennis coming in, he then doesn't play that ball to Pope. But he doesn't look, and Dennis comes up on the blind side. And take nothing away from the finish, terrific finish. Even though some Forest fans have actually said, well, I'm surprised Nick Pope didn't take out Dennis because he can do what he wants in the box and he doesn't have to give a penalty away and he doesn't get a sending off. And I thought, that's just stupidity, isn't it? And yeah, so, and then obviously then we have that 15 minutes where we looked a bit lost. We didn't look right. We looked a bit poor. And then all of a sudden we just changed to another gear. And just on half time, 46 minutes, 2 minutes of the injury time, Isak pops in with a goal. A volley off the shin. Now, when you watch that ball coming from Willock, it actually just goes behind Isak. So Isak's got to get his body into position, and he does very well to get onto it and score. And a great finish off the post. And we go in 1-1. Then we make the change in the second half. Anderson comes on at half time in place of Maxi. I thought, well, Maxi hasn't really done much for me. And whether that's just Eddie being diplomatic, saying he had an injury when in fact he didn't, he just didn't want to say I've dropped him because he was crap. I think, see, oh yeah, he's got a bit of an injury, we're just taking the precaution. In other words, I think it's just Eddie being nice. I thought Elliott Anderson played well. He scores. Of course, it's offside. Now then, I'm going to explain this to you, how this goal is actually onside and not offside. Right. Now, if I go off the letter of Law 11 in the FA's rule book of offsides, right? Mm-hmm. So for the offside offence to happen, the player that's in the offside position, because even if you're offside before the ball's touched or anything, you're not causing an offence. Not until the actual ball's in play. So, right. Now, when you're in this offside position, this is the moment the ball's played or touched by the teammate who was penalised. In this case, Sean Longstaff. Now, for Sean Longstaff to be offside, he has to be interfering with play by touching the ball that was passed to him or touching by a teammate or interfering. But this is where it becomes more clear that it's not offside. Now then, did Sean Longstaff prevent the opponent from being able to play the ball clearly by obstructing his line of vision? So in other words, when Felipe, who was in the centre of the box, went down and swept that ball away, was Sean Longstaff actually in front of him, impeding his vision? No, he was not. So Felipe clears that ball. It then lands at the feet of Niakhaté, who's in front of Longstaff. Niakhaté then kicks the ball, which then hits Longstaff, ricochets to Isak, who's on the floor, gets up, does well to get up with the ball at his feet, puts in a beautiful cross for Anderson to bury it in the back of the net. Now on that evidence, and looking at that on Law 11, Sean Longstaff did not prevent that opponent from being able to play that ball. So Felipe was able to play that ball. So Longstaff, in no uncertain circumstances whatsoever, did Sean Longstaff stop him. He never stopped him once. Mm-hmm. He had a time to get that ball out, and that's what he did. Now, even Gary Neville said this, similar to this. He said the same. When he's been a defender, you get on the floor, and if you go down, you're going to sweep the ball away. It's natural instincts being a defender. Now then, if it says that on Law 11 on the FA's rule book, and surely these referees have gone through all these rule books before.
Yep.
So why did Paul Tierney not say that on the monitor? Why didn't he say, oh, hang on a minute, no, it's not offside because Felipe has cleared the ball. Sean Longstaff is on the edge of the box, just inside the 18-yard box, where Felipe is at the 6-yard box, and in the centre of the goal. So when he sweeps that away, so the first thing Tierney should be looking at is saying, right, okay, oh, well, actually, he's cleared the ball, and it's landed at Niakhaté, and as he said, it's hit Longstaff. But that's the second phase of play when it goes to Niakhaté. That isn't the first phase of play. If it had gone from, say, Felipe and hit Sean Longstaff straight away, then yeah, you could maybe say that is offside. But because it didn't hit him straight away and it went to Niakhaté, then in that instance, that goal should have stood last night. And it's not just the likes of Gary Neville saying it should have stood. There is a lot in the media saying it should have stood. Even Shearer's come out and said it's disgusting, the VAR decision last night. I mean, we don't say the referees going to Montas for offsides normally. So I think last night, Peter Banks passed the buck. I think he knew that was onside, and he thought, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to send him to Montas because I don't want to make that decision. I don't want the crowd thinking that I'm being biased or anything like that. And he put the pressure on Paul Tierney in front of that 29. I know they only got 29,000 there, but that 29,000 crowd. And then as soon as he signalled no goal, that crowd went crazy. And then all of a sudden, they were up for it, Forest. But eventually, we settled back down. We got the penalty. It was a clear handball. Niakhaté in the air, bang on the arm. And you saw straight away, he put his head in his hands. He knew he had made a cock-up. And there was no way that was going to get overturned by VAR. Not a chance. Even if Paul Tierney hadn't appointed the spot, he would have been told to go to Mont and check that, because there's no way VAR would have said, oh, we'll back the referee, because they would have said, no, he's made a clear and obvious error. And then we all thought Trippier was taking the penalty. Sky were all up with these graphs, like how many he's missed and things like that. And then he hands it to Isak. That was because he took the pressure off Isak from the Forest players and the keeper getting in his mind. So it was a good ploy. And so all in all, we won the game 2-1. I said it would be a tough game. I didn't think it would be an easy game. And but I just think the VAR needs to be looked into more. It's not the system that's broken. Let's be honest. It's not the system. It's the people who are operating it. The people who are operating that system are not doing it to the best of their abilities. And I'm afraid if it's going to continue like this, they need to sort it out. And over the summer, Howard Webb needs to get into this and sort this out. But previously had Mike Riley in charge of the referees. That man is a totally nutter arsehole. Honestly, he is. That man, Mike Riley, always against Newcastle anyway when he was a referee. He was Fergie's 12th man. That's what he was, Mike Riley. And I didn't like the cockwomble, if I'm honest. But when he left and Howard Webb come in, I thought, great, because Howard Webb will change the way the refereeing is. And it's Rome's not built in the day, so he's not going to do it from December. But I think once the season finishes, I think next year we could see huge changes from Howard Webb.
We've got to at least. I mean, how some of these Forest players escaped with yellow cards, i.e., I don't know how Ayew escaped with a bit of a naughty challenge right at the beginning of the game. I'm sorry, but that was a reckless tackle from him. That was a yellow at best, and that wasn't even given.
Yeah, exactly. And Shelvey should have been booked, in all honesty.
He actually did get booked right in stoppage time. I read it back, and he actually did get booked in stoppage time. But he should have been booked before that as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's just absolutely crazy, isn't it? And I mean, how they kept 11 men on that field last night, Forest, I'll never know, because they were really, really poor. But I mean, what's your thoughts on what I've just said there about that offside, about the rules
totally
there?
Agree. It's just unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, it's just what can you do?
I mean, do you think, Pete? Right? You tell me, was Sean Longstaff at any time impeding Felipe from clearing that ball?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Definitely. So where's the referee got this from then, that he was impeding?
Oh, I don't know. And
you can't say he was impeding Niakhaté, because that was the second phase of play, and you clearly see Niakhaté have the ball and kick it.
Yeah, I totally agree. Absolutely. Good afternoon, Gary. Hope you're well. Great win last night, lads. Absolutely, it was indeed. So, 2-2 says Max, and Murphy did well. Again, another terrific performance from Jacob Murphy yet again.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Murphy's playing so well, isn't he? And absolutely fantastic from Murphy.
It certainly was, wasn't it? Black and White Army says Truls, and VR didn't even put the lines on it.
They didn't do anything, did they? I was surprised. That's what I was waiting for, to see if any of the lines were coming on. But yeah, I mean, I didn't realise Shelvey had got booked last night, and that's actually helped me out, because I had a bet on last night. I had a bet builder on, and I put Shelvey to get a card, Newcastle to win, and Isak to score, and I got 17 quid for it. So hey, happy days.
There you are. That's it. Absolutely.
So after losing on the Cheltenham Gold Cup yesterday, I got my money back and some.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, we got the Guinness out, Tony.
Yeah, we have. I'm on the glass of Guinness.
Nice. So there you are. Devin, good afternoon. Pete and Tony, great result for you last night. And Anderson's goal should have stood. I thought the ref was shocking and the officials were terrible. Absolutely the way. I thought Elliott Anderson looked class when he came on, did well down that left-hand side. He was quality yesterday, I thought. That left hand, for me, suits him more than centre midfield.
It does, yeah. I liked it down there. I thought he'd done, he took Forest on and he gave them a lot of trouble down there. And yeah. And, Serge Aurier, I don't think he's that great, to be fair. So he got all around him. But I mean, Steve Cooper's complaining as well. He's actually come out and said the first goal shouldn't have stood for Newcastle.
Why?
He says because it was a foul on Ayew.
Oh, bugger off.
Because he got tapped on the back of the ankle. Well, he was knocked. That was all. It wasn't intentional to knock him. But he says, but then he goes in the next breath, but I'm not going to criticise the referee, although the referee wasn't great, he said. He said that referee was terrible all night.
Yeah,
he said,
absolutely.
but I'm not going to criticise him for that. But he says, he says, but I just don't know why it wasn't checked. And I thought, why it wasn't checked? Because there was nothing to check.
There's nothing to check. I mean, had you been smoking a spliff before the game or something?
Well, he's got a big greenhouse full of cannabis plants, hasn't he?
Oh, yes.
Must have. It's overlooked stone, doesn't he?
They are spoiling the games. Well, it's the people who are ruining it, not the technology itself. Nottingham Forest were trying to enjoy all the best players. Well, they were. And the referee was terrible the whole game. Absolutely. Great performances from Anderson and Murphy. Mason's in the chat. I repeat, Tony, hope you're well, Mason.
Mate.
I think VR should be scrapped. It's spoiling the games. We need better people running it. These referees right now are just, they couldn't organise a piss up in a brewery.
I mean, I know Rolly made some good points last night on the show, but I have to disagree with him at times because there's just, the referees are not up to the standard. That's the problem.
Who could just say out of all the referees is good in the Premier League? Maybe a couple at the very most.
Michael Oliver and Anthony Taylor are the only two standout referees. The rest of them, a lot of bollocks.
Yeah, that's it. I like Michael Oliver, just see me kind of referee a game for us. I used to be a real hater of Anthony Taylor, but I'm not. I think Anthony Taylor's not a bad referee. The way he said Casemiro off was the right decision. So, sorry to say, it's yet to stay, says Lewis. Yeah. Murphy back heel was class, says Patrick. Absolutely, that was.
Yeah, definitely.
I've just seen the Japanese referee in the Premier League 2 game. Is it? I've not heard anything about that, I must admit. Maybe the referee from Ashington. It's Michael Oliver, but he cannot referee a game for us, unfortunately.
He's a Toon fan.
Yeah, and that would be absolutely biased. So, I apologise for saying that long stuff for offside. It's clearly onside. No, it's all right. We've all said we've made mistakes, but yeah, it should have been given, absolutely. David says, I didn't like Kevin Friend as a referee. I wasn't a fan of him.
I couldn't stand him. No. Didn't like Jeff Winter either.
I remember Jeff Winter. I remember, who else? Mike Riley, as you said.
Phil Dowd. Although I do remember when Phil Dowd, I mean, he was a referee. I remember being at that game. It's when I had my season ticket and I was at that game when we played Arsenal when we were 4-0 down at half time, the famous 4-4. And I remember Phil Dowd, the referee. And I just thought, when it was announced that game, I thought, oh, Phil Dowd, I can't stand this bloke. We're screwed here. And when we were 4-0 down, I thought, yeah, this is Phil Dowd all over it, innit? But the second half, he was totally different. And when he sent off Abu Dhabi for, not only did he push Joey Barton to the ground, but he also got a hold of Kevin Nolan as well. And I just thought, why are you doing this at 4-0 up? Your team's winning 4-0, they're coasting, and yet, you're getting yourself a red card. And after that, we were just totally awesome. And then we came back, we all know the score, 4-4.
Absolutely.
2 penalties. I know Mike Williamson might have died for that second penalty, but who cares?
But
it's about time.
One of Bester's goals should have counted because I forgot who played
it was onside.
Absolutely. So that kind of made up for it in a way as well. But who else referees you had back in the day? Graham Poll was another one. I remember him.
Yeah. Yeah, he wasn't the best of referees.
Uriah Rennie, I remember him.
Yeah.
God, he was
Paul Durkin, the ginger one.
I didn't think he was that bad, Paul Durkin. I thought he was
Uriah Rennie.
He was woeful, him,
who made a name for himself because he thought it was great. And they did ask him about that. They said, when you sent Shearer off, they said, giving him his first red card, he said, yeah, he says, He says it was the biggest smell that I ever put on my face. He says it made me the happiest man going. He says when I sent Shearer off, he says, because I become the first referee to do it. And he says, and I was so pleased to do it. And I thought, what a knob. What a knob.
Absolutely. Kevin Fred, is Kevin Fred finished? He doesn't referee the Premier League now, does he?
No, don't think he does. I don't think he referees at all, does he?
Isak was man of the match for me. The guy's improved in every game. Absolutely was as well. Howard Webb was a great referee.
But remember, according to Craig Hope, Alexander Isak's not fully fit yet. That's scary.
It is in a way as well. So
if he's not fully fit, just imagine when he is fully fit, he's going to terrorise a lot of defences.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Howard Webb wasn't great in the referee days as well.
Anderson in the World Cup final.
Anderson was bloody brilliant when he came on. His goal should have stood. Let's get the referee from Italy. He was the scariest referee in the world, but unfortunately he has retired. Or Kalina. That is what you call a proper referee. That is a proper referee.
He was a great referee, though. He took no shit.
Absolutely he didn't. That's the referees we kind of need now. What did you think of Phil Dowd? Not the greatest referee as well. No, I wasn't a fan of him.
Shit.
Absolutely as well. Who else? Bobby Madley, shocking as well. He still referees as well.
Yeah, he's terrible, isn't he?
And Andy Madley as well. Just
his brother.
Yeah.
But Simon Hooper, I don't rate him either.
Nah.
I like, I tell you who I do like, Tony Harrington. He's not a bad referee. I mean, he refereed our game against Everton when we won 1-0 when Anthony Gordon had his bust up with Sharon Pope.
He did.
But I thought he refereed quite well. And I sort of felt sorry for Michael Salisbury because he's not really been in the Premier League long, and he was stitched up by another knob called Lee Mason.
Absolutely, yes.
Mike Dean.
Oh, yes, Mike Dean.
It's all about me. It's all about me. I'm Mike Dean. It's all about me. Don't worry about what's going on the field. It's just me. It's Mike Dean. That's all it is. You know, you don't have to worry about the 22 players on the field, on the managers. It's not about them. It's about me. It's all me, Mike Dean. You know, when Newcastle play Liverpool, Shelby's going to get in the way of that free kick. I'm just going to jump over the board before Trent Alexander-Arnold strikes it, so they score. Knob as well.
Clattenburg, he wasn't too bad. Mark Clattenburg.
One of our own, yeah.
He never
Another one that couldn't. No, he couldn't because he's a Toon fan.
Absolutely. So there you are. Aurier was poor. You can see why Spurs released him. He was poor, yes. Kalina, the best referee to ref a game, 100%. His eyes were weird. Absolutely the way. Isak was class. Imagine some world-class players around him. We'll be playing some... To be honest, there'll be some players we will be building around Isak, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Also with the likes of Bruno Botman and other players as well. So it's all about you. They used to say that.
Yeah.
Neil Swarbrick, another referee. Not the greatest.
Yeah, another one, another knacker.
Martin Atkinson.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm glad he's retired.
No, you did actually referee Newcastle game, Newcastle United against Sunderland. Mark Clattenburg. Oh, did he? Which one was that one? I can't remember which one that was as well. So, but yeah. There you are. But I thought we kept Brennan Johnson quiet yesterday, because I thought he would have been a massive problem for us, but I thought we dealt with him very well.
Mm-hmm. We did a job on him. But there again, he did have that bit when he got free and he had that shot and Pope saved it.
Yeah.
He's still a terrific player though, Brennan Johnson. And the thing is, I'll take him all day. If there was a chance we could sign him in the summer, I would say get him in the club because I think he's terrific. I really do. And I think, under Eddie Howe, he could improve even more. What do you rate him, Pete?
I really do, actually. He's a really good player. He's a very good player. Is Joe Linton back for Man United? Yes, he is. Mm-hmm. Mason seeing you at the gates of game, Lewis. I know Gates are not playing today, but unfortunately I'm not there today, so there you are. Right then, we'll get onto the player ratings now then. We may as well. Oh, Scott's just popped in the chat. Hope you're well, Scott. And Lewis is going in half an hour time. Well, there you are, Mason. Is Maxi injured or did he take him off because he wasn't good last night? It could be either. I thought Maxi disappointed me yesterday, I thought.
Yeah, he was very disappointing, Pete, yesterday. And, I mean, if you look at going back to Isak, I mean, obviously he's getting better and better each game now. I mean, when you think he's played 10 games this season, but he started 7 of those. So he's fairly like a new signing, 6 goals in 10 games, which is, it's basically bordering on 2 goals per game. His expected XG is 5.58 per game. And he's scoring frequencies every 104 minutes. But I mean, even his passing range is 74% accurate per game and 33% accurate with crosses every game. So, I mean, that cross he put in for Elliott Anderson was pinpoint, and that was a beautiful cross.
It was, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
Certainly was, wasn't it? So probably a bit of both. Yeah, absolutely. Right, we'll do the player ratings now then. And remember to get yours down in the live chat as well. Or what would you score the players from yesterday as well? So here you are. Right. I'll kick it off with Nick Pope then. I'll kick it off with Pope this time. One save he had to pick. I know he conceded the 1 goal, but it was a mistake from Botman, which wasn't his fault. So other than that, Pope did what he had to do at times. So standard performance from Pope. So I'll go with a 7 for Pope. Didn't really had much to do. It was ASM who played the ball for cross that led to the goal. Yes, even Devon's going for a 7 for Pope. Right, onto the back forward. Tony, you'll kick it off with Mr. Kieran Trippier.
Kieran Trippier, I thought he had quite a good game, to be fair. Couldn't do nothing about the goal. Too short to get his head up there and get to head it out. But I thought he looked all right last night. He had a good game. His delivery wasn't too bad. And that free kick he put through there where Renan Lodi hit the crossbar from the free kick. I mean, that was just training ground one, that. And all in all, I thought he led the line well. And I think at the end, the shithousery, to pick up the ball and see who's take the penalty so that Navas and the rest of the Forest players got in his ear and tried to play mind games with him. And then he just said, oh, hang on a minute. Sorry, Isak's taking it, not me. And he's probably learned that from Atletico Madrid, to be fair, Pete. Simeone's probably drilled that into a lot of the players because, we know Simeone's the king of shithousery. And that's why Eddie Howe's like that now, because he's picked it up from Simeone. And if you think, Trippier was playing against 3 of his ex-teammates last night. Shelvey.
Yep.
Felipe of Atletico.
Yes.
And Renan Lodi. So there was 3 players there that Trippier knew in that team straight away. But, do you know what? For his shithousery, I'm giving him a 9.
Okay, if Dyson, fair play. Pope's going for a 7. True says, read what Shelby said after the game. I've lost all respect to him. Right, there's a lot of people that are thinking that Shelby's been a bit disrespectful. I've read into this more. It's not been like that. He's just having a carry on, from what I've read. The Daily Mail have gone way over the top with this. I've seen about it as well. He's just having a laugh and a joke about it. That was the thing. And he said Newcastle deserved the win as well. So he hopes we are on the way to go for Europe come next season. It was just a laugh and carry on from Shelby. He didn't actually mean what he said. So there you are. If that's what you want, people are saying, oh, why is he saying that for? It was just a laugh and a carry on he was having. He didn't mean to say it. What he meant to say. So there you are.
The media just blow things out of proportion again.
Well, the Daily Mail or the Daily Fail, what you like to call them at times.
Yeah, just as bad as the bloody Sun.
Absolutely.
Another paper you wipe your arse on and you end up with more shit on your arse than the paper.
Trips and 8 played well. Pope a 7. Brandon Newcastle players wingers the ball bell end. Well, I've just said it was just a laugh and a carry on. He didn't mean it. Indeed. Fortunately, now Newcastle Academy are getting beat 1-0 against the Forest Academy. Oh, hopefully they'll turn that around. So there you are. Right, onto the centre backs. And I'll kick it off with Mr. Fabian Schär. And he did what he had to do. I'm glad he was fit because there was talks that he would possibly could miss the game after not being called up for the Switzerland squad. But I'm glad he was there yesterday. And I thought he did what he had to do for me. So, and another great good performance from Schär, so an 8 for Schär as well. So, well, I seen it. I never read it, says Audrey Hungry Newbie. Who reads a lot of these tabloids nowadays? Because I certainly don't.
Yeah, exactly.
God, so there you are. All right, then. Okay, Tony, next centre back. Oh, I wonder what this will be interesting what you'll be saying about him. But it's the Sven Botman.
Right, Botman. Well, I normally have great things to say about Botman because he's been brilliant all season. He's been an absolute fantastic signing for this club. Last night, he had a blip, and a blip it was. So, Sven Botman, he was at fault for the goal because that back pass was terrible. Should have looked on his blind side. When you play, I've played before as a centre half, and I know that if you're going to pass a ball back to a goalkeeper, you've got to look both ways to make sure there's no players hanging around. So that's the basic error I made there. But his passing was sloppy. It wasn't on form. For me, I've got to mark him as low as a 6 because
I
think that's about fair enough.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, Devon's going for an 8 for share. Same with Truls. 6 going for same for Devon because of the error. Truls is going for a 7. He picked himself up after the mistake. He did a bit. 6-7, I think's reasonable as well because he did do that. But yeah, you've got to call it out for that horrendous pass he made for their goal. Yeah, you can't just ignore that, unfortunately. So there you are. Right, the last of the back four was Big DB, Big Dan Burn, and I thought he did very well again for me yesterday, Dan Burn. He knew he had to stop that danger threat from coming down the left-hand side as well. Of course, he did get yellow carded for complaining to the linesman, which he was a bit frustrated because I think we should have had that throw-in or the goal kick, whatever it was. But I thought Dan Burn did very well for me yesterday, so I'm going to go for an 8 for Dan Burn as well, which I thought he did very well. So, yeah. Well, to me, what he said then caught himself out and made a joke of it. Yeah, absolutely. Burn a 7 and Big Dan a solid 8. So, there you are. Right, we'll go into the 3 into midfield then. And, of course, Tony, you can kick it off with Bruno.
I mean, bit of a mixed game for Bruno. Yes, there was periods where he looked quiet, but I thought he was pretty good, to be fair. I thought he drove at their defence. He had a shot. He had a couple of shots, didn't he? I think one was saved by Navas and one was saved by the defence. He tried to get us going. I thought Bruno had an okay game, to be fair. I didn't think he had a poor game. And he was just full of running, full of energy. You could see he just wanted to get the ball forward. I give him an 8.
Fair play, yeah. Was a bit of great energy. Yeah, I think it's quite reasonable. If a 7 was given, I think that would be fair as well. So yeah, I totally agree with that. 7 because of the card, no need to shout out refs, you get a yellow. That's why I give him a 7 for Dan Burn, okay? Bruno an 8, okay? Right, the next one I will take in midfield and I'll go with Sean Longstaff. And I thought he did well, I thought he was very unlucky not to score. He hit the bar, I thought. And yeah, I thought Longstaff did what he had to do, I thought, yesterday. So I'm going to say a 7 for Longstaff. He was very lucky not to score, but I thought simple game from him. I thought yesterday. So yeah, Ashington in the chat up you well. Longstaff a 7 says Truls as well. Okay. The last one in the midfield for you, Tony, is Willock.
Willoquinho. Yeah, I mean, Joe Willock, what a game he had last night. He's looking back to his best again. Yes, he probably should have scored in the first half, but I think he was put off by that Ryan Yates. But again, I thought he had a terrific game. Joe Willock, full of running, full of energy. Set the goal off for Isak, the equaliser. He's just looking great again. 9.
Interesting. Nice one. Longstaff, 7 decent mistakes. Yeah. Willock an 8 as well for Truls. As well. Right, that's the last of the midfield 3. So we'll go on to the attacking 3 now. And just a couple more questions. If we played anything like Nottingham Forest last night, I guarantee that all the media would be saying we were playing very dirty and wasted time. Nottingham Forest do it pretty clearly. Not a peep, absolutely they do. Here for Willicks is Devon as well. Right, the midfield attacking three now. So I will kick it off with Mr. Jacob Murphy. Excellent for me again yesterday, I thought. He was getting right down that right-hand side, getting those crosses in the box, and he was really working his socks off for me yesterday. It's his opportunity to take that role and see what he can do since Miggy's injured at the moment. It's his place to lose now. So, there you are. I'm going to say a 9 for Murphy. I thought a 9. There you are.
Yeah.
I think Murphy was excellent, so a 9 for Jacob Murphy. Yeah. Okay, Tony, on the left-hand side... Not the greatest of games, but there you are, ASM.
What do I say about them? Because there's nothing I saw. 4.
Yes.
That's it. I can't say nothing because I didn't say anything from him, so that's all I can say. 4.
Yeah, I think 4's reasonable there. Yeah, you are. Murphy and 8. Ashington and Murphy caused some problems for them in 8 as well. Yeah, I've said a 9 for Murphy. I thought he was excellent for me. ESM a 4. I think that's reasonable. Devon's is a 5 for Maxi. Awful. Poor game from him yesterday, I thought.
You're being kind, Devon.
Oh, he was not great yesterday at all. I thought ESM so. There you are. Right, the last of the starting 11. And, of course, it's that man, of course. Our record signing, Alexander Isak. Terrific once again. The goal he scored with his shin was unbelievable. Tony's begging me to say it, which I'll get on to as well. And he's going to get better and better every game now. We'll see more goals from him. He can end up in the double figures in terms of goals before the end of the season. He is looking on fire now. He's looking brilliant. And this is why we paid the money and brought this lad into the football club. He's just going to get better each game. And my rating is double figures, 10 out of 10 for Isak.
Well done, Pete. Well done.
Absolutely. 10, Sis Ashington. No need to pick up any other players were 1. Well, we've got to rate them. You've got to be honest as well. So,
yeah.
You know, Patrick and Isak a 9. 10 for Isak. Devons is a 10 as well for Isak as well. Brilliant. So, there you are. Okay, and we'll go into the substitutes now. We only made 2 yesterday. But Tony, you can kick it off with, or just read this comment. Isak has a class potential. We ain't seen nothing yet. Absolutely. There's more to come from him. There certainly is more to come from him, definitely as well. Substitutes now, and I think you've got to kick it off with this man, Tony.
Elliott Anderson. I thought he had a terrific second half. He done more in that second 45 minutes than ESM did in the first 45 minutes. Should have had a goal. Shouldn't have been chalked off. Absolutely terrific. He just played so well on that left, made things tick, tried to tick things over. And I know to be honest, he was only on for 45 minutes, but I'm giving him an 8.
Fair play. I think a 9 would have been a good scoring as well. I thought he was excellent when he came on.
Only give him an 8 because he was on for 45 minutes.
Absolutely. Honestly, it's fine. Picking on them is not when we win, though. I think you've just got to be critical. You've got to be, you can have what you call constructive criticism. Because I thought Maxi wasn't great yesterday. Anderson an 8. Anderson an 8. Anderson an 8 as well. Anderson an 8 as well. I think they have found Anderson's right position now. Absolutely. I think that left-hand side does him very well.
Yeah.
I think that does him very, very well indeed, definitely. So there you are. Right, the last substitution, but he wasn't on for long, and that was Richie. So we'll not mark him, or we'll just go down the middle and go with a standard 5. Because
you know he set up a goal, though.
He did. I suppose he did. But he was only on for about 6 minutes plus stoppage time. So,
but if you notice when Richie was on the pitch, though, Pete, I mean, did you not see him with Trippier? And he was with the other players. He's getting out wide. I want the ball wide because he's got great delivery. Still, Richie. I mean,
yeah, he does.
He's still got a good foot on him.
Right. So, yeah, I suppose so. 5 or 6 would be fine as well.
Do you think he's getting all these little cameos because obviously? I mean,
probably.
I'll tell you what,
we know he's going to go come the end of the season.
I think the last home game this season probably be really emotional for him because he's probably going to get a start. He's probably going to get one hell of an ovation from the fans because,
Yep.
and it wouldn't be surprising if he starts the last home game of the season
He could do.
and then comes off to a standing ovation.
Could well do. I think Elliott Anderson definitely deserves more minutes after that performance last night. I was happy for him. Yeah, absolutely. Richie will go. Says Ashington as well. So I've just done Richie. I've said 5, but 6 I think would be a good rating as well. So there you are. Right. We'll go into the ones we need to rate now, and we're going to get these out the way. So I'm going to do both of you for these, Tony. So we'll go with you know who, the referee Paul Tierney, and of course it was on VAR Peter Banks.
Paul Tierney, a 1.
Okay.
Oh, actually, no, sorry. I'm going to change that, Pete. Sorry. I'm going to give him a 3. I'll tell you why I'm going to give him a 3, okay? He was shite all game, terrible all game. The only decision he got right was the penalty. So I'll give him the extra marks for that. So he's got 3.
And Peter Banks?
0.
Okay, then.
Because he was shite on VAR.
Absolutely. Definitely so. How many players do you think will leave us? Some, I think the players who are out of contracts will be away, definitely.
Yeah.
The only one, which I'm not really fussed about because I think we need to move them on. The only one I'm hoping will keep is Carrius. The rest, I'll not be fussed if they lift him.
I think we'll keep Jacob Murphy, in all honesty, because I think because he's played well, he could be a squad player, you see.
Yeah, absolutely. Problem is, this Big Joe is coming back and he will be left wing, in my opinion. He could well be against Man United. Both of them -10, says Ashington. Senior a 0, Peter Banks a 0 as well. So yeah, shite, absolute shite. So there you are. Right then, I'll go into our fans, and of course they get a 10 as always. Brilliant as always. Sang my hearts out from start to finish from the game. This is what our fan base is about. Traveling on a Friday night for the game as well. Probably just after finish work, taking the days off work to go down there. Full away capacity at the City Ground yesterday, round about 3,000 to 4,000. Absolutely fantastic. Our atmosphere is just amazing. So it's a 10 out of 10 for our fans, easily. 10. Our fans are the best country by a mile, absolutely as well. So that's why, of course, they get a 10. There you are. And the last one, which I'm going to get to Tony, is, of course, that man there.
Anyhow, yeah, he got his substitution spot on. Game plan was spot on. You recognised ESM had been shite in the first half, so he took him off and put Anderson on. So 10 out of 10 for Eddie Howe. It's a 10.
Absolutely, there you are. Fans can't be measured. They are way over the scale. Absolutely. Howe a 10. Absolutely. Eddie 9 a brilliant. Yep, absolutely as well. 10 out of 10 for Trippier's smile before the 10. Yes. As well. So Eddie Howe a 9. Good we won, but they need to sort out these VAR officials and refs. We were lucky that time with the pen, but most days would cost us the game. We got it. That was the main thing. It was a Stonewall penalty. You can't put your arms up like that. You give the referee no choice but to give those now. And that's exactly what he did. So, how'd you know ASM wasn't injured? Well, we don't know that. We don't know if he was injured yet, but I've got to say he wasn't up the standards in the first half. That was.
But then if he was carrying an injury in the first half, then surely he should have said, "Look, I need to come off."
He could have done. Possibly.
I know Charles isn't happy that we're criticising ASM, but the thing is, Charles, we're not like criticising them as such. It's constructive criticism, but it's the fact is we're seeing it how it's happened. Right. Botman didn't have a great game, neither did ESM. It happens, but we can't just sit there and say, "Oh yeah, ESM was great for that 45 minutes," when the majority of everybody knows he wasn't. So it's not that we're picking on anybody. It's just how you do it, and it's just constructive criticism, and we're just giving the rating on the performance that we see on the field.
That's
and and you never know, he might start against Man United ESM, and he could be 10 out of 10 player. Who knows? That's the difference with ESM. He could be 3 out of 4, 3 out of 10 1 week. Follow me, he'd be a 10 out of 10 player, like he was against Liverpool when we had 10 men. So it's not that we're pushing. We're not
Yeah.
putting players down by any means.
Absolutely. Well, Wilson as a trainer, he came on. Why did he say I'm not up for it? It was a strange one because Wilson didn't come on, did he? I don't think he should have
No.
been at the game yesterday. If there was mentioned he had trained for over a week as well. So Maxi deserves the criticism. He was terrible. He wasn't great. Last match against Wolves, I mean, yeah. How mentioned Maxi had problems with his hamstring, why he was moved into the centre, and Isak was moved out the left before his first goal. And yeah, that's right. Steve Cooper, I don't mean the Steve Cooper, the championship dirty tactics and all. We need to talk about a little bit of a spat between possibly Eddie Howe and Graham Jones as well. That you think of what was all that about?
Yeah, I mean, we saw that, didn't we? And I just wonder. I just thought, well, what's going on there? What was actually going on? Because there seemed to be. I don't know if it was to do with tactics, but Eddie Howe said something, and you could clearly see Graham Jones told him to f off, and it was like, oh, hang on a minute, but. But then at half time, because Steve Cooper was asked this, he says, you and Jason Tyndall were pulled in the referee's office, weren't you, by Paul Tierney at half time? And he said, yes, we were. He said, we were told about our conduct on the touchline. He says, but we were also told to make sure that we get the players' conduct right on the pitch because he felt the players were disrespecting him on the pitch. And he said, if you don't get them under control, I'm afraid there's going to be a few red cards in the second half for both sides.
Yeah, possibly. Forest was a disgusting tackle team. There were some dirty tackles in there, particularly the one from IU, how he wasn't carded for it. I don't know. Maybe Eddie's been listening to Graham Jones and finally said, no, that's why we've been losing. You don't know. But hopefully that's all resolved now and put aside.
Yeah.
Because we focus as a team.
It's probably just one of them. You just have your opinions and you don't like what somebody else said and you just have a little argument over it and then they've had a domestic and it's probably sorted out.
Absolutely. That's rubbish. Forest should have seen the only one who got any reds, if anyone. There could have been some. There could have been some. Shelby could have seen a yellow earlier in the game and he didn't, and he was booked in stoppage time as well. So that's a one you could say.
Yeah.
I love Mad Dog Tyndall. I'm sure Eddie and Graham are okay with it now. Yeah, absolutely. They've put it all to rest now and just we have got a time off now with the international break. Some of the players will be going to Dubai who are not in international duty. And of course, Eddie will be doing some extra work with them to make sure they keep the fitness going. Definitely, and make sure we are ready for Man United for when the international break is over as well. So, am I looking forward to international break? Not particularly, no. I'm not fussed about the England games, I've got to admit. I really, really am not. But if it gets us some players back in a way, Joe Linton, definitely. If it gets Miggy back, that'd be great. Possibly going back as well. But I can't be chewed with the international break, to be honest.
I think to be honest, Pete, if we have the international break, I think it just gives us a chance to reset and get ourselves sorted out. And then when we play the Manx, we'll all be nice and fresh. Because remember, they'll have a lot of players that will be on international duty more than what we have. So, I know a couple of them might get an injury when they're out as well. But yeah, let's just see. But it just gives us a chance to rest and reset and ready for the Manx on the 2nd of April.
Yeah, absolutely as well. Totally agree. If Graham can't behave, then bye-bye, in my opinion. I hope we beat their Manx and no Casemiro. Nah, he's definitely not playing because of his red card, which was 4 games because that was his second red card this season.
Mm-hmm.
Not bothered about England games. Southgate will never win. It's the same old waste of talent time. Exactly. I mean, who's he selected? Majority of those are favourites. Harry Maguire's still there.
Yeah, I don't get that one.
Calvin Phillips has been selected, who's barely played for Man City at all.
Yeah.
Tony's been getting a call up, okay then, but is he going to look to use them? I don't know.
Well, he's got an opportunity. We're playing Italy and Ukraine, so he's got an opportunity now to use them.
Well, yeah, I suppose he has. But you know what? I can't be chewed with the international break.
Trent Alexander-Arnold's been left out though, but Trippier's in and Pope.
Yes, they're in it, so well done for them getting the call up as well. But you know what? He's got favourites in there as always.
Kyle Walker's in there, even though the police have now dropped their investigation.
Oh, no surprise there.
If that was me or you going in a bar and pulling my trousers down and showing off with bits, we'd be locked up for that.
Absolutely. Indecent exposure. Because it's a famous person and it's a footballer.
Yeah.
They can get away with it.
And he plays for Man City, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's indecent exposure, that's us. We'll be out the bars, we'll be in a police cell for the night, and we'll be barred from going back to that particular pub as well.
Mm-hmm.
If we were caught doing things like that. So there you are. Hi everyone, be dashing around this morning over to Gateshead, then time out, then on to Toon back home now, rushed off my feet, says Tom. Oh, sounds like you're having a bit of a
jaunt.
Yeah, absolutely. Garnacho injured as well, I believe. Yes, he is. How can anyone get enthusiastic about England and Gareth bloody Southgate? I'll never know. The man has as much charisma as a wet sponge.
Absolutely.
I don't watch England's game during the international break. I kind of be chewed with them as well. I know I only like to do the England contents when it comes to the tournament itself. I do not bother with the qualifiers or the friendly games. I'd rather watch my team play at the moment than England at the moment. Then have to watch Steve Bruce #2, Gareth Southgate. Southgate plays the most boring football. Cannot watch another game. Nah, it's not great. Not interested in England and Southgate, me. So there you are. Truth says, hey, Tom, as well. So there you are. As well. So, Tony, are you bothering with the England games as well, or are you just...
I might give it a watch and see what's happening, but I'm tempted next Saturday to go to the King Power and go and watch England under 21s against France. So,
so in Leicester
next Saturday, yeah. So I might go there and go and watch the under 21s play France under 21s. That'd be a canny game, yeah. The under 21s are quite all right, actually. They're quite good games.
Yeah, I agree with that. So yeah. That wouldn't be so bad to go to. Watch England game if you want to fall asleep. Exactly. Friendlies are just money makers. They are in a way, aren't they?
These are qualifiers, so against Italy and Ukraine. These are for the Euros.
Well, after all the snooze gate, you used to manage the Smoggies. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
So, yeah, I can't be chewed with the international game, and I presume I'll be pretty much finding something better to do than watch boring Southgate football.
Unless he changes his ways and he starts playing attacking football.
Absolutely, because fair enough, we always saying it's okay getting through these qualifiers and getting to the tournament, but when it comes to the bigger tournament, when we get there, we're just left with egg on our faces 9 times out of 10 when we always come up short, when we've needed to turn up and we always fall up short. That is the downfall of England when it comes to tournaments as well. And it's happened the previous World Cup and, of course, the final of the Euros, England at World Cup 2018 as well. Of course, I know it wasn't under Southgate, but of course, Euro 2016 was a complete and utter farce as well. England don't change their ways, and this is what'll happen. That's the thing. So there you are.
Apparently, somebody's just put on our group chat about last night at the game. Yeah, I don't know if it's a Newcastle fan or a Forest fan. He said, he says the bloke who chinned the steward was in his 50s and was there with his son. Even his son couldn't believe what his dad had done. And so he says, yeah, that's awful. Like, was there anything leading it to set up? It's not justified. If he did it, just seems strange. And he said, I was more or less in the middle of it at times, but not seeing out like it before. He says, one steward politely asked fans as the second half kicked off not to block the aisle. Then about a minute later, a bloke in front of me grabbed a different steward and chinned him for no reason.
Oh, Jesus.
It was totally spoiled for a few minutes, but it was hard work keeping quiet at the end. I mean, yeah.
Absolutely. The only positive about this break is getting players back to full fitness. Absolutely. Southgate needs to get out and manage and give someone an opportunity. Southgate is wasting talent and supporters' time getting close to ever winning. Absolutely as well. So there you are. Well, Covey's just coming with his ratings. Portman 8, Trippier 8, Cher a 7, Botman a 3. Oh, wow. Burn a 5. Oh, I think some harsh ones there. Bruno 7, Willock an 8, Longstaff a 7, Mourinho a 10, Isak a 10, ASM a 7. Here, ASM's not a 7.
Oh, come on, Coffee.
Spotting on us, and they need a better manager as well. However, I'm going to share something what I shared on Tony's last night, and that was what their true said is yesterday, which was so funny again. So I'm just going to get that over.
Shelby.
Which, here it is.
It's that music.
Oh, Jesus, when?
Actually, sure, that's not Pierluigi Collina. Looks like him with the eyes.
Oh, it does, doesn't it? So...
Oh,
coffee,
brilliant.
too much caffeine, my friend, says Devon. Referee a minus 50. Oh, yes, absolutely. That's definitely not being generous at all. Looks like Shelby as well. But again, like you saw. That looks like Mike Dean when he has to make an official VR decision. Oh God, so let's see. My God, so yeah, but yeah, there you are. Well, then we're gonna start to draw the show to an end now. So, well, because I know Tony's got a show at 2:00 with Macy. So there you are. So yeah, we're gonna start to wrap up the show. And Tony, where can they find you and what you got coming up?
Yeah, so you can find me on Twitter at TonyTony31. Give me a follow down there, and I'll follow you back. Also, you can find me on my channel, which is behind me there. It's all Black and White TV. I'm now currently on 441 subscribers, so I'm only 9 away now from 450, and
that's great.
59 away from 500. Yeah, so 2 p.m. So that's like literally 22 minutes time. I will be live with Macy, and we're going to talk all things football. And it's going to be interesting because I've got a nice question for Macy to start the show, and so I'm going to put her under a little bit of pressure, and we'll see what her response is. But I'm not saying nothing. You'll have to tune in if you want to see what I've got to say to her. But she's a brilliant guest, and I like Macy. She's really good. And I did a show this morning, NUFC, the morning after. So the morning after the night before. So if you didn't see that, give it a check out. A lot on there. And I did a reaction last night, which Pete joined me on. And that was very good last night. And it's had about 280 odd views already. So it's doing really well.
Absolutely. That's no problem. Don't know what was up with Shelby's dirty play. Must have been listening to Poop Up. Could have been fans of 10. Mike Dean is tripping his arse off. Petey's watching along at 10 out of 10. That guy's dancing was clean after watching last night's match. You're pulled by the ref. Thanks, Aslis Patrick. Maisie is amazing. Wow. So there you are. Well, guys, what we got coming up, I'm going to try to do the football show tomorrow, but you will be notified. So if I can't do it tomorrow, feel free to get yourselves tuned in. And when I'll let you know what time that is. Hopefully it should be 8:00, but I'll let you know tomorrow if we could do tomorrow's live show as well. So there you are. Again, guys, if you have enjoyed, please, of course, remember to hit the thumbs up. Again, please hit that subscribe button. Of course, if you're new to the channel or you're not yet subscribed and you're really enjoying the content going on the channel, hit that subscribe button. It's free. Helps this channel grow. Again, it's not just me that helps the channel grow by putting the content out. You guys help us out as well by liking the content and subscribing to the channel as well. Hit that notification bell as well, and you'll be known of any live shows or any other pre-recorded videos that do get uploaded there to the channel as well. Hitting that bell button will notify you whether it's a live show or a pre-recorded video. You can still donate to the channel if you would like to do so. And, of course, if you'd like to consider becoming a member for just 99p a month, just hit the join button to become a member for just 99p a month of this channel as well. Devin, thanks, guys. Great show. When's the next show? Hopefully it'll be tomorrow. if I can. Bye, PD Tony and Old Test Coffee, and great show, says Truls as well. Well, guys, have a great weekend, whatever you are doing so far, and we'll catch us all later. Take care of yourselves.
See you later.
Everyone, enjoy your weekend, guys. Take care.
Bye.